Morning everyone, we're going to go into the fourth day of the return to swimming plan, starting with breaststroke warm-up and 2 minutes of breaststroke skipping in 2, 1, go. So make sure you've cleared your warm-up area and you've got a drink or two. Hopefully you all managed to get to sleep okay last night. It was a proper no duvet weather. Get about halfway through. Morning Michelle, morning Paige, morning Millie, Julian and Ewan. Okay, and stop. So, quick break. How's it going, Charlie and Tilly? And 3, 2, 1, go. Last 10 seconds. Blooper. And stop. So following that, we're going to go compass lunge and then C-march. Compass lunge, 5 each side. Keeping your hips facing forward the whole time. Keep your trunk up, completely flat, parallel to the wall in front of you. Then rebound back onto one foot, in between each lunge. Into C-march against the wall, to make sure you're not leaning. Then frog bridge. So feet together, knees out to the side. Six reps, bring your feet closer to your hips every time. Push your knees down as you lift up. Then wall to streamline. Streamline to wall rather. Keep your arms straight. Don't interlink your fingers. So your palms are facing in opposite directions. And then shoulder circuit again, because MPS were off. And it makes sense with a session that starts off with so much static core stability. So shoulder circuit is 6 gap press. So it's a combination of all the shoulder warm-ups we've been doing. Start with a 6 gap press. Then into IYTW. So just 2 in each position. Make a fist, clench your fist. Your elbows and wrists as high off the floor as you can get them. Then shoulder rolls. So same direction with both arms. And turn your thumb as you go through. So thumb down and thumb behind, overhead. And then 3 backwards. And finish off with some ISO squeezes, so against the wall, or use your hand, elbows on your ribs. So that's trying to externally rotate. If you've got a band at home, you can just do banded external rotations. We're just going to do 20 seconds on each side. So who else we got? Elizabeth, how you doing? Yaya, good to see you, man. And then other side. So if you're not using your own arm, you've got a wall. Stand side on, elbows on your ribs. So I'm trying to turn your wrist through the wall. You just hold that position until you start to feel a burn in your rotator cuff and the muscles behind your shoulder blade. Then we'll finish off with star jumps. So build them up. And then we'll get going. So static core strength, you've got reverse crunch to begin with, into left star plank. So the side planks are still straight arm, but you're going to try and spend as much of it as you can with your leg held in the air. We've been building up to that with all the other hip conditioning we've done. Right star plank, press up plank with leg sweep, and airplane to diver is just hinge forward to start from this, go into an airplane, and then into a diver from that same position. So bring your knee in, extend it, so you're switching between the two. Helps you develop coordination. It's also going to condition all the muscles we need around your upper back, around your shoulders and your hip. So we'll get going with static core strength, grab a drink, and then we'll go reverse crunch, 45 on, 10 off. In 2, 1, go. So leave your arms on the ground, push down as much as you need to, use as little momentum as necessary to pull your hips up off the floor. If you have to, you can kick to get a bit of bounce behind it and then just control that fall. And stop. 10 seconds off into left star plank. 2, 1, go. So if you struggle with this at all, just regress it into a side plank. Straight arm. So similar to all the other work we've done, you can build it up 10-second bursts. So drop into a normal side plank. Last few seconds. And stop. 10 seconds off, you're onto the right side, so just switch over in 2, 1, go. So build it up gradually. So even if you just separate your feet, because that's the only place you feel stable, that'll do for now. It's still going to help you condition the outside of your hips to hold that position. And stop. Press the plank with leg sweep. In 2, 1, go. So keep driving your hands down as you're working through this one. Build it up gradually. If you still can't handle the whole round, bringing your knee up to the side of your hip. And stop. Finish off the round, airplane to diver. Two, one, go. And switch sides. Relax. So for that one, as long as go with whatever you think you can manage. So if that means finishing each one and going into the next, that's fine. Ideally, go straight from one, bring your leg in, and go straight out. So you increase the stability demand around your hamstrings and hips. If you're struggling with the star planks, you've got a choice. You can either go straight on plank, or you can do a round of kneeling with straight arms. So kneel on the ground, like that, and just hold your leg up to the side. So go back to reverse crunch in 2, 1, go. So exercise as much control on this movement as you can. I'm having to cheat quite a lot by kicking overhead. And then as well, hold your arms down. So as you start to fall, push hard, it'll slow the descent. And then stop. 10 off, we're into star plank. Two, one, go. So I'll show you that kneeling one again. Straight arm, kneel on the floor, hold your foot up. Mismanage my distance there. We'll go with the standard side plank. And throw in the leg raise when you feel comfortable. and stop. It's far more about building stability than it is a grind. So if you find that you're shaking, having to grit your teeth, you're probably going to start compensating by dropping your hips back. 2, 1, go. So straight arm, knees down. So this is a lot easier on your trunk. You're going to start to feel a lot of work being done here. But if that's what's holding you back, then it could be worth just spending one round focusing on this movement. Otherwise, stick with the plan. Straight arm side plank, add in leg raise. And stop. Press a plank leg sweep. In 2, 1, go. Remember, the closer you keep your toes to the floor without touching down, the harder it's going to be. And the wider you go, the further your feet get from your hips, the harder you're going to make it, the more challenging it's going to be. And stop. And then airplane to diver. 2, 1, go. Switch sides. It's actually easier if you keep small as you switch over, rather than going back to the standing position. Relax. Because you've got a lot more movement to control around your hip, as well as going from rotation to extension. So one more quick break, one more round. Two, one, go. So reverse crunch. So the more kick you put into the first half, the more you've got to hold the second one. Last couple of seconds. And then stop. Stop plank. 2, 1, go. So it might mean that your third round is just to start a straight arm side plank. So you're just building it up gradually. Make sure your feet, you get out of the habit of crossing your feet. So you're still increasing the stability demand around your shoulder. Now as you're holding that position, you're concentrating on pushing your arm through the floor, get as much reach, as much co-contraction around your shoulder as you can. Stop there. Switch sides. Right arm star plank. 2, 1, go. You could even do it as forearm. With leg raise, just again, it takes away that stability demand around your shoulder. It's harder to push through your elbow. But after 3.5 months of doing these sessions, hopefully you start to recognize your own limitations around the movements. So if your shoulders feel completely fine and your hips are holding you back, it might be worth sticking with this position just so the muscles on the outside of your hip get a bit more work done. And stop. Press up plank, leg sweep. Two, 1, go. You can slow down the movements as well to make sure if you lift your foot high, don't arch the lower back, keep it level with your shoulders, and keep your ankle low, and relax. Finish off the round with airplane and diver. If you start to lose composure, just pick one and stick to it. 2, 1, go. And less reps. More concentration on quality. Switch sides. That's what happens if you rush an aeroplane. I'm just going to watch my own demo. Stop. End of round shakes. So 1 minute break. I'm going to lower body strength. So we've got split shot squat jumps to start the round, same as last week. Then roller squat, one on each leg. If you haven't got a roller, just go with rear foot elevated. So grab a chair or use a table. Hamstring raise for 40 seconds, and then finish on wall sit. So I've given a few people alternatives for this if they're managing injuries. So you've got another 30 seconds to reach out if you haven't already. Still prioritising jump height on the split squats. So if you think you can go higher to begin with, just with a normal vertical jump, by all means, go for that. And I shouldn't need this. So 2, 1, go. Always make sure your landings are consistent. So if you start to lose it a little bit, go back to bilateral or rein it in a little bit. Last couple of seconds. And stop. And roller squats. In 2, 1, go. So as much effort as you can get through your hip and quad on your lead foot. more you lean forward, the easier it'll be. But that's fine if it means you can get a lot of push through that lead leg. Ten seconds left. And stop. Sorry, it's 40 seconds, not 45. Not yet. So left leg. In 2, 1, go. So even watching the monster now, like, I lean way more than I think I do. So make sure if you have to, you can always lunge in front of a wall, relax. So at least then you'll know whether you've leaned or not, you'll hit your face. Hamstring raise. In 2, 1, go. Switch sides. And stop. Finish the round on wall sit. 2, 1, go. So make sure you can feel the whole surface of your foot, holding your position to create stability, so push your toes down, as well as your heel. Try and concentrate on the whole surface of the bottom of your foot. And stop. 20 seconds off, and we're back into split squat jumps. In 2, 1, go. Couple of seconds between each one if it means you can keep that jump height consistent. Couple of seconds left. Don't know what that one was. And stop. 10 off. Into roller squats. 2, 1, go. So stay tall, use the wall for guidance if you have to. That's far better. Stop. Into left leg, so I can properly use the wall this time. 3, 2, 1, go. So at least if you're using a wall as a constraint, or someone else's hand, wherever you can, it's going to make sure you lean back as you go through each rep. Bearing in mind the most important part, relax, is the bottom. So that's where you're coiled up, it's where it's going to be harder. But being coiled up is where you're going to be when you're starting off the blocks. 2, 1, hamstring raise. So 20 on each side. And switch over. And stop. Finish round 2 with ball sits. In 2, 1, go. Halfway through, think about your feet. Try and stay at that 90-degree angle at your hip. And stop. So last 20-second rest. I'm just going to try and give myself some more ventilation. But give yourself the best chance with those roller squats to stay as tall as you can. 2, 1, go. So maximum jump height. Try a couple without hands. People really don't like it when I do that. But if you take the arm swing away, you know, all the work's been done by your legs. A couple of seconds, and stop. So last round of roller squats. In 2, 1, go. Halfway through, first leg. The longer you wait at the bottom, the more you're relying on muscular effort to drive you back up from the bottom. 2, 1, stop. Left leg, and go. So even when you start to change that lean position, try and push through the same part of your foot on both sides. So I've got a tendency to lean forward and go more toesy. Keep it flat between your toes, the ball of your foot and your heel, and stop. into hamstring raise. In 2, 1, go. And swap over. Time for another rep or so. And relax. Wall sits to wrap up the session. In 2, 1, go. And try and make sure that your heels stay under your knees. If you drive out further, it's harder to hold. Last 5 seconds. And stop. Session done. So open as many windows as you have. Take on plenty of drink. I'll be covering my own back, but training in heat is not fun. It's definitely going to have an impact in the way you perform. So bear that in mind as well when you're doing your runs. We said it to a few people, but if you're trying to maintain your usual pace, add a bit more rest in between each rep of runs. It's Thursday, so you're doing resistance, but if you are running, bear that in mind. Don't try and force yourself to hold pace in heat like this. If you're doing it around midday, move the time if you can. So we've got right quad to start off the mobility. And then switch it into the left hamstring. Just keep your back flat the whole time. Hold a position, concentrate on breathing and let that be what stretches you further. Into left quad. And then switch again, right hamstring. So I've been guilty of it a few times. Even if you think your back is straight, just double check and reset it. It might be straight up to your shoulders and then you slouch. You might have straight shoulders but a rounded lower back like this. Just be aware of finding the position that you actually want to find. Okay, then we'll go lateral hip stretch. Just haven't done that for a while. So one foot across the other. Pull your knee across with a straight back. Or line your back. Same effect. So whatever helps you get your knee across your body towards the opposite shoulder. And relax. Same as when you foam roll, with a similar stretch, you can use your other leg to assist. So that's probably going to stretch your glute max a bit more. If you want to hit min and med, which are the ones that really help contribute to the pelvic stability, you're better off doing the standing one where you cross your legs over, like that. So into lat stretch. Leading with your elbow and switch sides. So plant your hands wherever feels comfortable. Start to drive your elbow away from your other shoulder. And sink your hips in the same direction as your wrist. Stop there. Finish off the chest. So at least 3 positions during your left and right side. About 10 seconds in each one. And try and get some sort of pull involved as well. So bearing in mind what I said about the weather and making sure that you don't go sprinting during the highest temperature. With the challenge, your 3/100s, 200s or 300s, base it around that. Measure your times, be conscious if you lose some time because of the heat. Just don't judge yourself too much for it. And then resistance exercise. Everything's pretty much the same. Towel press up, V-sit overhead press. Yeah, just a bit more volume on each one. Shouldn't be too complicated. So enjoy your day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, guys.